Welcome back to the present moment and how to drag your brain back to the present moment to reduce your anxiety by not freaking out about the thoughts of what happened when you had an argument with Bob at work or your partner at home or whatever it might have been. To bring your brain back to calm, we need to be in the present moment. So this is skill number 2. And as you can see on the board here, it is observer. To take the observer position. What does this even mean, the observer position? Well, if your brain is freaking out, if you've got anxious feelings in the body, if you are overthinking, catastrophic thinking, if you are just racing with a million thoughts and completely in overwhelm, take the observer position. Now, what does that mean? And why would we even do it? Well, the present moment's about being calm and relaxed and centered and handling life, right? That's the why as to what we would do here, why we're doing it. And the reality is the observer position is about you observing yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, let's follow a little process just to help you understand how you can calm yourself. So let's do it. Let's do our very first observer, where you will observe yourself. So I want you to close your eyes. Make sure you're in a safe environment where you're sitting down and you are in a safe place. No heavy machinery, no driving. You are perhaps on a couch at home, not going to be disturbed, just for a few moments. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. And if you're not, stop the video and do it at home, not whilst you're in the car. What we're going to do now is observe. So if you feel you've ever got feelings in the body, you're anxious, you're overthinking, I want you to close your eyes. Pretend in your mind like you are floating above yourself, almost like your spirit's floating out of you. I want you to imagine that you are floating above yourself, maybe 20 feet above yourself, and look upon yourself and observe what's going on. Observe the feelings going on inside you and look at yourself and say, what's happening for you? Why have we got these feelings? Where have these come from? What do you need right now? Do you need some love? Do you need some attention? Do you need some companionship? Do you need, what is it you need? And listen to the voice that comes back. Do you not feel that you are smart enough for this situation? Do you not feel enough? Do you not feel lovable? It might be a clue later on for the deeper work that you could do. Questioning the feeling, questioning the overthinking. What is it you're afraid of, and how can I help? What's missing? Just ask lots of questions. Or even just float above yourself, looking upon yourself, float out in front of yourself, maybe another 10 feet in front, looking down on an angle at the top of you, and observe yourself with love. Observe yourself with care. Observe yourself with compassion. And I want you to now look down on yourself with your eyes closed. You've raised or lifted yourself up, and you've then lifted yourself out in front on a 45-degree angle, and you're looking down, you're looking upon yourself, and I want you to look upon yourself with love and say to yourself, what do you need right now? And listen for the answer. What do you observe yourself needing? Have a listen. Listen to what you say back, or what you feel back, what you hear back, or if a picture comes into your mind. And if nothing happens at that point, this is where we can use our left and our right brain. Because now I want you to take that little observer being you've just created in your mind, who's still up there floating, and I want you to move him or her around to one side. Move them around to your right hand side. And look upon yourself on that same angle, about 20 feet, 3 meters or so away, looking upon yourself on that 45-degree angle, floating in there because it's in your mind. You can do whatever you like. And just observe yourself. What do you need? And observe yourself with compassion. Observe yourself with love. Observe yourself with care. And then, once you've asked that question, if no answers come back, that's fine. Just observe. And now, take that same observer who's up here on the right. Take them around to the back. And imagine them looking down upon the top of your head on that 45-degree angle. And just ask the question, what do you need? I have compassion for you. I see that you're suffering. I see you're overthinking. I see you're catastrophizing in your mind. I see you're suffering from these feelings. What do you need? And look around you and you can say, hey, right now everything around you is actually very safe. We are safe now. We are in a good place. And now, as you're observing yourself from the back, float your being around to your left. And float as you are up on that 45-degree angle, about 3-4 meters, 20 odd feet away, looking down on yourself from this side now. Really see yourself. See whatever the suffering was and give yourself a blanket of love. Observing yourself. And I want you now, because you've now been to the front, you've been to the side, you've been to the back, and now you've been to the other side. I want you to float down on yourself with a blanket. And this blanket is the blanket of love. And I want you to imagine the colour that you would put into a blanket of love. And not now, but in a moment, you're going to float down and you're going to wrap a blanket of love around yourself. Imagine the colour of love. Now you've got it. I want you to also imagine the fabric of love. What does love feel like? Is it velvet? Is it wool? Is it silk? Whatever the material is, it's got to represent love to you. And now that you've got a fabric of love, you've got a colour of love, all in this blanket, I now want you to wrap that blanket around your shoulders. And as you wrap the blanket around your shoulders, imagine how you like to be held. That special hug that you might have got from your parents, your mum or your dad or your partner, whoever's loved you in your life. They're holding you in that special way. You know what it is, don't you? And as you're loving yourself, float back up. Give yourself the words of love that you need to hear. Those are the words of love that will calm your anxiety. And now float back down and back into your body. You have now had the full observer effect. Pretty cool, right? Now, when you're in a moment, you don't have to go through that whole sequence. You can practice that yourself. You've got this video, you're in Udemy, you're in the other courses, wherever you've got this recording, you can put yourself into the observer effect. And what it does is it brings you back to the present moment. Looking around yourself, you can see you're very safe. Looking around yourself, you can see, okay, right now I'm experiencing these feelings. And you can calm yourself down. Like that, in the moment. You can just, oh, I'm feeling anxious. Just float above yourself and ask, what do you need? Do you need the blanket of love? Because you've practiced it, you've developed it, and you've made it your own. You could take this and the previous examples of getting back to the present moment and really make it your own. Own it with your own color of blanket of love, the fabric of love, and the words of love that you can whisper into your ear. That's the observer effect. That's number 2 out of 3 of the present moment. I hope you enjoy.